So, how did you go about selecting which stories from all of this treasure trove of stories to tell in your book? Was it in conjunction with your editor, or did you work it out on your own in the manuscript and the writing process?
My editor and I banged stuff out like that for sure. But before that, it was me on my own selecting. Um, and yes, I spoke to dozens and dozens and dozens of workers, and I guess what I wanted to do was um, have enough stories in there that kind of shone a light on the vast stories that were here, and the scope of the policies, um, without repeating myself too many times. I wanted to make sure that there were people that I was interviewing workers from many different countries in many different sectors. So I kind of wanted to have this the diversity of not just voices but of stories. This happens with all of my books. You talk to a bunch of people, all of whom are telling you something important to their life. They're talking about their lives, and then you, as the cold writer slash editor, has to decide whether this person's story is worthy for the book. You can't have everybody. So you have three stories of abuse on a farm. I'm not going to take all three. You know what I mean? So I have to choose, which is not to say that the person that gets cut out, their story is any less valuable or whatever. It's just that's just the kind of the cruel nature of writing a book. And I always feel terrible about that. It's terrible where people will sit with me, tell their stories, give me their time, and then in the end it doesn't appear anywhere. And what I always say is that, regardless of if they end up in the final draft of a book, everyone I talk to contributes to my knowledge of the subject, contributes.